Welcome, brothers and sisters, man. Sometimes you gotta shake your head. Sometimes you gotta laugh, and other times you gotta just shake your head, man. You know what I see? Do you have any idea what I see? It's hard to look through the eyes of the brothers and the sisters, man. The spirit is on us, man. We don't see what everybody else sees, man. You know, but it could be something so innocent, seemingly. It could be something so seemingly innocent that to the average person it will just go right over their heads. But it's not what we see as the brothers and the sisters, man. We see different things. And when I see a black woman with a small black child, I mean, not all, but you know, a lot of times I see this spirit over that unit. You know what I mean? Can't call it a family. I see her, and I see how she sees that child. You know, I see how she covets that child. You know, because that child, it means something different to her. If the average person saw that, they would be like, oh, she loves that child. She loves her baby. That's not what I see, man. I see a lot of covetousness over these children. I see a lot of evil surrounding the black man's children, man. It's just unfortunate, man. Such evil and such wickedness, you know, and such covetousness over a man's child, because your children represent residual income payments for most of these females. If you think that, if you see, a person can love a person, but it's not necessarily that they love them, it's why they love them. You know, just like a woman could come up to you and she could say, I love you, and most men will be thinking like, hey, she loved me. Damn, man, she loved me. Why? Why does she love you? It's not for the reason that you think. It's not because she's just so enamored with you as a person. She does not love you for those reasons, man. You represent a certain thing to her. The ideal male in the BAW's mind is a on-point simp. I mean, in most females' mind, not just the BAW, but we talking about the BAW here. You know, the most attractive man to one of these women is based on how cute he is. It's not based on your brain power. If you got brain power, you barking up the wrong tree, man. That brain power is gonna get your ass in trouble. That brain power is gonna destroy your relationship. You know? It's an unfortunate state of events. You know? So when I see a lot of these women with these children, and I look at the covetousness, the way they touch the children, to the average person, they seemingly just love their child. Why? What is the purpose? What does that child represent in her life? Why does she covet those children? Why don't she even want the father to have any kind of sense of identity within his own child? Like a father can imprint his identity onto a child, what he wants that child to know. Why aren't black men allowed to do that? Why is it anytime that happens, the single parasite mother will reject his imprint on that child? She'll tell the child something different. She'll tell the child he or she doesn't have to listen to that. She'll disrespect the father in front of these children. Why? Why does a child not allowed to have the blueprint of the father planted on them? Because they understand that the child is going to see eventually, that the child is going to be allowed to see what the mother is doing and how the mother has used the child against the father. See, I want a lot of you black people to understand something, because there's a lot of conflict that needs to be resolved. Your mother only had you. I want you to go to your mother's house, look her in the eye, and listen to the rest of this video. Your mother, a lot of your mother, I know most Negroes ain't gonna believe this shit. They are not gonna believe this. You think that your ass was some kind of love child? Do you think that's what you were? You think that she wanted to have you? You think she was planning on having you? These are things these are questions you need to ask. Or were you a mistake? Were you an inconvenience? Were you you weren't actually part of the plan, but since you're here, you might as well be producing money for her. You might, you've been, a lot of you Negroes been producing money since the day you was born. You were producing money for her house, for your mama's house. And unfortunately, a lot of these Negroes have to take on a lot of a grown man's life at a very young age. You got black males out here where it's commonplace, where it's common for these men to buy their mothers a home. That should really rip your heart out of your chest, black man. The very fact that you gotta buy your mothers a home. Because what that actually says is, depending on who your mother was and if she was married or not when she had you, a lot of what that says is it wasn't important for your mother to be married in order to have you, man. It wasn't important, and you need to stop blaming your father, because your mother, she had total control over the situation. A lot of when we examine these situations, we tend to look at it from a perspective of, my father, he threw himself on my mother. He was all over her. She just couldn't resist, and he took it. Basically, in other words, your daddy took it. In your mind, in the average Negro's mind, his father took the potato chips and got her pregnant. She was an innocent victim this whole time. She was innocent. She had nothing to do with it. She was poor. She was put upon. She was little. She was the weaker vessel. Nah. See, a lot of us, we gotta get out of that false sense of reality. That is your mother's imprint. Your mother imprinted that onto you, and you believed it. You had no choice, because you were a child and you didn't have any scales by which to judge. You didn't have anything that would balance out that negative paradigm. That is your mother's imprint. If you believe that your father, that if you could even go back in time and even consider that, what happened, how were you conceived? If you were conceived from a single parent home, you most likely believe that your mother was attacked by some thug nigga. And he got her pregnant. Your father was a thug, and he got her pregnant, and and she was just innocent, and where did all that bullshit come from? See, this is why women don't want your fathers to imprint anything on you. Anytime your father tries to give you part of himself, the mother will attack that. She'll disrespect your father. She'll try to keep you away from your father. She'll do all kinds of evil things. She'll put them on child support, have them in and out the courthouse, so that basically you're like a regret to him. Like she will make your father regret getting her pregnant. And guess who came from that? You. Guess who came from that pregnancy? So a lot of us have been destroyed. And when I'm out in the world and I see these children, I see the covetous nature of these women. I can see how they covet those kids. I can see how if they're not coveting them kids, then why won't they let y'all see them a lot of times? Why is this such a burden for you to see your own kids? Why it always gotta be some drama going on? Why it can't be just like, you go pick up your kids and and that's what it is. Why it can't just be simple like that? It always gotta be some drama. It always gotta be, you ain't paid your child support this month. You ain't paid this month. What happened with this? What happened with that? Always gotta be an argument. Oh, she's late to the meeting. She can't be on time. She can't be on time because that's just her trying to make sure that your birth is a burden on your father, and that's how he sees it, and that's how he reacts to it. Even though he doesn't do it on a conscious level, he sees your being here as a burden. It's just another thing he got to do. And you wonder why a lot of these men don't want to a lot of these men just pay the child support and they don't want to have anything to do with the child. It's because of the mother. It's because that child is not going to be anything like its father. It's not going to have anything of its father in it. It's just going to be a walking, talking version of its mother. You just paying child support. And anytime you try to have a relationship or you try to instill any of your values into that child, there's going to be a problem. There's going to be an issue. There's going to be a fight. There's going to be some arguments. There's going to be some court dates. There's going to be some fights. There's going to be something. Man, oh man, oh man. I wish a lot of you men could see what's going on in these black men's world. How hard it is for a black man to have a child. It is hard. Black fatherhood is hard. Black fatherhood is hard, man. Those children, most of these black children that you seeing around you, and a lot of them were you at one point, you were not something that your mother wanted. It wasn't important that your mother be married in order to have a child, because a father was not important. I can raise kids by myself. I'm independent. Nothing's changed. Nothing has changed in this equation. Y'all think that something has changed? Y'all think that Y'all think that she will give up that power? She's betrayed your community. She's treasonous against the black community. I've always said that. Like, a lot of dudes are gonna say they made that up, but I've been saying that shit in my videos forever. That's treason. Because if black people, I always said that if black men had their own country, do you think that these women would be doing that shit that they're doing right now? Why don't black men have their own country? This is what I want to know. I don't want to hear about Liberia either. Because that ain't our country. More wars, that's a damn war zone. We've been fighting wars over there since they established Liberia. But if we had our own country, these women would not be acting the way they're acting right now. That definitely wouldn't be happening. But they don't want to be under you men's rulership. They don't want they would rather be queens of the trash heap than daughters of Zion. They not only have they betrayed you, they betrayed the Most High. They betrayed the Most High. They've taken on anything that any way that allows them to be outside of your authority. They'll take on those ways. They'll take on those laws, those rules, those standards. Those are the standards that she upholds. She doesn't uphold no laws that the black man. This is why the 5 steps in the moral code is so important, man. Black men don't have a set of rules, laws, and standards of their own. They don't follow the scriptures in regards to laws. And the scriptures, the 5 steps in the moral code are based on biblical principles, man. You cannot escape those. You could try to escape, but we already see where that goes. We seen DMX. We seen every time you watch the news, you see somebody breaking the 5 steps in the moral code. You know, that's something that you cannot escape. I don't understand why black men believe that they can escape it. But see, black men have to establish a set of rules, laws, and standards that govern their community and their behavior. You know, yes, we do have the scriptures, but black men still need their own standards, because not all of us are going to live according to the scriptures. But we still have to have a set of rules, laws, and standards that govern our community and behavior, even though they are based on biblical principles. You know, man, oh man, oh man. But I bet you, the moment one of them people came along and they offered her the opportunity to be rebellious, to be wicked, to be evil, to be dysfunctional, to not to have to listen and follow orders of black men. Black men can't actually say that black women do not follow them until they have a set of rules, laws, and standards that govern their community and behavior. Thank you very much. Why? How many times am I going to say the same thing? You can't necessarily check. You can talk about the BAW, but you can't check her because you have not established the rules, laws, and standards by what she is to follow. So of course she's gonna go with the white man, because his standard, his rules, laws, and standards have benefits that his rules, laws, and standards, she benefits from them, from those standards. A black man offering that? Hey, that's a subject for another video. but like I said, man, I feel sorry for your children, black man. I feel sorry. Those are not even your children. You are a sperm donor at best. You niggas are sperm donors at best. Do you men think you raising your children? Are you in charge of what your child believes? Are you in charge of that, or is this something that you need to discuss with your children? I mean, hey, is that something you need to discuss? You gotta get together with your kids and your baby mama, and y'all gotta discuss it. Is it a discussion? I mean, or do you rule? Or does the buck stop with you? I mean, I just need to know that, man. Because a lot of those kids basically, a lot of those children are not your children. They belong to the white man. Those are his kids. You just so happen to be paying for them. He tells them what to do. He sets the rules. He sets the standard by which your children live by. Because black men refuse to do so. It's not important. It's no big deal. Black men are too busy smoking weed and shit, and getting high and getting drunk, and worrying about some bitch's pussy. Trying to get in some woman's pants. They too busy doing that. Whoa. A lot of black men are too busy doing that. It's not important. Alright? It's not a priority in their lives. The 5 steps in the moral code is not a priority for them. Their own rules and standards are not priority. They're just like, I'm too busy, just let them follow the white man. Whatever the white man say, whatever his standard is. You see what his standard is. God damn, he has no standards. Every time, all his standards have went out the window. He has those standards. So if he has none, then your children, the only person he got standards for is you Negroes. He don't even live according to his own standards. Only one's gonna be accountable to his standards is you dumbass niggas. All up on the internet threatening to kill each other and stuff like that. Y'all got issues, man. But anyway, man. Hey, next time you ride past one of these BAWs, I just want you to think for a second, man. I want you to think about what you're actually seeing, what you're actually looking at. I don't want to hear that not all shit. That's out the window. That if it's a 90, if 90% of the people are doing it and 10% aren't, you could forget that not all bullshit. Because black women love to run around with the not all shit, and that's destroying your community even further. See, she ain't talking about herself when she says not all. She just saying it just to be saying it, man. Not all. Bitch, you got 5 kids by 3 different Negroes. Fuck you mean not all? Yeah, all. If it's 90%, that's basically all. We don't the 10% is insignificant. That's an insignificant number. That's like 100 people fighting 10 people. Or that's like 10 people trying to fight 100. They're insignificant. On that note, I want to say peace. Hit the comment section. Let me know what you think. Get on the 5 steps and adopt the moral code.